we usually like go through the episode anyway,
True.
but like but yeah, like just by doing the English dub, because then I have to pay attention to like the voice lines, like how it's said and everything. You can like can notice of like I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I remember I was like, that's
kind
a
of
thing.
begin to analyze it because you're breaking it apart.
Yeah, I'm breaking it apart just the way it's said, so it makes it easier.
Ah.
Yeah. So, okay, so hey guys, it's Miss Burb, and I'm here with
BB.
Woo! We both did it at the same time. So we're back from Christmas break, and we're back together for episode reviews.
Yes.
So
Let's review the heck out of these episodes.
So, Papa Garou / Where Dad came out.
Where Dad?
Is that the English
No, I know, but
version?
it's so...
It's Where Dad. Papa Garou is better.
Yeah, it does sound better.
The French version is better. If for those of you who might not understand, it's called Papa Garou. So I've been watching it constantly because I did an English dub, or I'm doing it right now as the time of this recording. Maybe it's done by the time I bring this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be a ball of fun. Anyway, go watch that if you want to see me die. Anyway. Okay, so overall episode thoughts after you watched it. You texted me saying that you weren't as impressed because of the hype around it or something?
Yeah, because when I saw like the little clip trailer thing and like when I saw like the rumors of like, oh, Marinette says that she's in love to Cat Noir, right? Like it was there was all of this hype kind of around it, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a big episode. There's gonna be a lot of like progress with like their feelings and the love square and whatever, and I didn't feel like we got all of that. I felt like it was kind of disappointing in that sense.
Okay.
I mean, it was still a really fun episode and I still really liked it, and like I will talk later about the end, but I like kind of the ending too. Kind of.
All right. Like I remember when I first watched it, I was disappointed by the ending. To me, it just kind of felt like, snap, we're done. Like, you know.
No, I get that too, but we'll talk about it. Yeah,
well, we'll talk about it once we get to the end. But like that's just for like the first impression. I was like, okay, it was a cool episode, but I don't see quite of like as much value into it.
Yeah.
But as I redid the dub, I was like, okay, yeah, I understand it a lot better, and you know, my listening skills gotta improve, man. Okay, so first of all, we start off with a callback villain redo. Which they might apparently be redoing all the villains with Stormy Weather too.
Yeah,
in the official family. Apparently the season 3 episodes are supposed to air in Canada, starting February 4th. So, and they have an episode list, and the list says Stormy Weather too.
So,
but why would they?
It's really weird though, because she's also not that memorable as a villain, I find.
She's a cool villain.
No, she's cool. She's a cool villain, but she's not. She's not a recurring character, right?
Right, not a villain that you would bring up. Like we haven't even seen her character really. Her character hasn't been that prominent ever. Like she's just a side character.
She was just like she's a very side character. She's only really in that episode.
Maybe they're gonna expand on her character.
Exactly. Like it might be good, but it's also kind of weird that she would be the first one.
The first callback villain.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's it. So they brought back Gigatita, the baby bad guy. So they brought him back. So that's like I don't know. They just brought him back, and then so they're just fighting him, and we get to see an exterior shot of what it's like to experience the fight, right? Because then we see Marinette's dad, Tom, go up the stairs, and we just see like the stuff crashing through the house, and and stuff is happening outside. So you get the kind of feel of like, okay, this is what civilians feel while everything is being destroyed.
Especially because he was looking for Marinette. You know, he was concerned for his daughter. He was like, I need to find her, and it's just like
that's what real people would do. You know, not like superheroes. So
it makes it seem more real, more realistic.
It's interesting. Yeah. So basically, this entire episode is like from the point of view of like a civilian-ish.
True.
Like I mean, until you actually get to the villain, then you're.
Then it's not like that anymore.
Not as much. Okay, so then one other thing is that Cat Noir. So then, like, Marinette, like, they save the baby, right? And then it's like, oh, what is it this time? So it's like, well, this is a reoccurring thing, and they're getting so much more used to, like, either the baby always gets akumatized, but I mean, he's always gonna be angry, so there's prime reason to use him.
He's always gonna be crying and throwing tantrums.
Actually,
I feel.
So remember how in the first episode it was an accident,
Oh.
but now he's doing it on purpose.
Maybe he figured he worked well the first time. I don't know.
Did it work well the first time?
Not really, but.
Why would you reuse the same villain if it's a baby?
Maybe there was literally no one else, and he's just getting desperate.
Well, I mean, they did have to cart but like they did have to cart around the baby afterwards, and it became kind of like a plot point just to get them together. So maybe it was easier than having like an extra character that could actually talk.
Yeah.
But so then we come to the moment where it's like, oh, okay, so Cat Noir sees Marinette.
Yes.
And that happened. And that was a freak out moment.
He's like, oh, maybe you're, and then she just stops him. She doesn't even let him start.
So basically he thought that she was just following them around. It's not the first time I've seen you when Ladybug's detransformed. He's like stupid.
He's so stupid.
Okay, he's clueless.
He points out the thing, and then he's like, and then he just swerves. He's like, no, you're a fan.
Oh boy. Well, it's like Marinette.
He laid out the evidence, and then he was like, but that's irrelevant, kind of.
But Marinette did the exact same thing. Adrien disappears and Cat Noir reappears. So it's actually both of them have this clueless thing going on.
We love our dumb protagonists.
So I was thinking, like, because in that shot, so, like, Marinette hugs, Cat Noir, and then they're holding the baby. So, like, looks like a family unit, so that's just kind of cute. Anyway.
It was really cute,
but
it was also, like, too fast.
Maybe that's why they also had the baby. It was kind of like, oh, this would be cute. Wouldn't it be cute if they hugged when there was a baby there?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they, so Tom invites Cat Noir for lunch.
Yes.
Because it's Sunday the next day, and why wouldn't you invite a superhero?
It's so funny to me, though, because he invites him over to have brunch. And obviously he can't show up as Adrien because he can't reveal his identity, but he has to show up as Cat Noir. Like,
it's civilian Cat Noir.
It's hilarious because I would never think, like, oh, they could just walk around every day in their costumes
be
and
normal.
Be another person. Right?
Okay, so then like, there's the whole freak out, I'm skipping a little bit ahead, but there's like, Tom is like, oh, we can have like, I can train you, and we can have the bakery, the Dupin Cat Noir bakery, and I'm just like, that's hilarious.
Yes, like, please someone open that bakery.
But, so would Cat Noir stay in his superhero form forever?
I don't know.
Would he reveal his identity?
Like, Marinette gets married to Cat Noir.
Like, you don't know who it is underneath, but...
Not the person, Cat Noir.
Oh, man.
Oh, one thing that I did love, though, about Tom was that he mentions that Marinette loves hamsters.
She loves hamsters. What were you going to call your hamster again, sweetie? Oh, it's a nightmare. Nightmare! Oh, that's a great... Anyway.
It's so funny, too, because Adrien also likes hamsters.
Does he?
Yeah, remember in... Is it Frozen? No.
Did he...
I think... You know, like, when they have their fantasies?
Well, in Stormy Weather, there was the fantasy where Marinette was like, oh, I'm going to have hamsters and cats or something.
No, it was season 2, I think, where...
Adrien had one, too?
Oh, when Adrien was dreaming, he was saying to Ladybug, oh, we're going to get married and live on an island and have a hamster. And then there's... Yeah.
Is that the dream Adrien, or is...
Dream Adrien, but, like...
Okay. Yeah,
Adrien.
but that's Marinette's, like, delusion.
No, but it's Adrien's dream of revealing his identity to Ladybug.
Oh, yeah. That part, he did.
I think so, yeah. So, like, they both like hamsters.
They're made for each other. Did you see the color inverted picture?
I did not.
There's a picture where, like, if you invert the colors, basically their clothes and their hair and everything, they'll, like, Adrien will get blue hair, and, like, the colors will just invert to the other characters'
Oh.
Yeah, I can maybe show you that. Like, I'll show you on my
Yeah,
phone or
yeah.
whatever. But you just, like, invert it. Like, the sewer scene, you can see both of them, and then you just flip it over. Anyway.
Okay.
So it kind of shows, like, the duality and everything.
Yes.
But, okay, yeah. So before the whole scene with Tom and them in the bakery, so there's a whole...
I did love, though, that the mom was very rational.
Well,
not very rational, but I was
Wouldn't
like,
have been-
calm down, Tom, chill.
I liked the mom, especially when she's talking to Katnor one-on-one,
Yes.
like, when he, like, flips out. But, like, wouldn't it have been... Because right now you have Tom flipping out. He's going nuts.
Yeah.
And then you clearly have the mom who's rational and stuff, so it just kind of accentuates his craziness.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Tom went too crazy?
Definitely.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
unnaturally.
Very unnaturally.
Like, it was too much.
Like,
I was just there and I was cringing.
like maybe, yeah, he's sort of romantic and naive or whatever, but it's still too much.
Yeah, like, it was too fake.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain moment where it's like, okay, yeah, like...
Like, it didn't feel genuine at all.
Like, there's a part where they're, like, meeting up and he opens the door, so they're just there, like, oh, hi, how are you? I don't know. So they're just kind of, like, awkward. And then that is just there, he's like,
Like,
that is natural.
For sure.
That
For
is
sure.
great.
But him, like, talking about the bakery, as fun as it is, it's not very...
It's, like, I can see, like, the parents, like, oh, yeah, you could come work with me. But then it's, like, there's a certain moment where it's, like, too much, chill,
Yeah.
dude. I'm trying to adjust this. Okay, so what do you think of Plag's comments to Adrian? So, first of all,
Oh.
so he was like, oh, yeah, we have, like, you have a new lover,
Yeah.
and whatnot. And then he's like, oh, you could just date both girls at the same time.
It's the same girl in the end or something.
Yeah, okay, but, like, when he first, so before, like, I got
Yeah.
to, like, the end of that, it's just like, oh, you could date both girls at the same time. I'm like, what? And then it's like, oh, it's both girls. I was just, yeah, that was great. That was great.
Yes, I was like, Plag, spill the beans.
But they both clearly know what's going on.
Yes.
Tiki knows what's going on,
She
but
definitely
then
knows.
they're not telling their owner, so she's essentially, she is hiding it from Marinette.
She is.
That her crush,
Is the guy that's in love with her.
yeah, and like, and Plag. Okay, Plag, he might not know that Marinette is in love with it, so and
Yeah.
everything, but Tiki knows, and she's
Tiki is very aware.
and Tiki's a master at hiding it. She's just kind of like exasperated in this episode.
Yeah, she's like, you shouldn't lie about your feelings, Marinette.
There's a couple moments, but like there's like 2 moments you're just kind of like looking at her. It's like, ugh.
She's like, come on, it's obvious, it's right in front of you, Marinette, come on.
On top of that, well, anyway, so there's that, but
Honestly though, Plag he should have just said it in front of Adrian. He shouldn't have.
well, they can't. He would have spilled bubbles.
I know.
Would he have
Well,
done it only for
he
his own
didn't
owner?
say the name.
Well, Adrian couldn't hear anyway. But like, let's say
True.
it's not his owner that he would be revealing Ladybug's owner. So
Mhm.
with that, Ladybug's Tiki's owner. Anyway,
Cause like when he like bird bubbles, right? He was saying his
was-
owner's name. He was saying like Adrian or something.
okay,
right?
but like, let's say he says
so if he
Tiki's
doesn't
owner.
technically say the name, does he still?
That one girl with blue hair and pigtails in your class. Would that count? He just starts spewing bubbles all over the place. But yeah, and then there's also the moment where like it's like, oh yeah, your dad, he's not gonna come have supper with you. So he's just like, oh, I'm gonna
Oh.
go be alone in my room. At least I'll feel like I have company. Nice, Adrian. So there's that, and then there's Tom flipping out.
Yes.
And Tom gets mad.
Why he turns into a werewolf though is what I don't understand.
Well, I mean, did okay, what villain?
Like in terms of design and reasoning, like why?
I guess there isn't actually a clear reason for why he would turn into a werewolf, unless it has to do with mythology. Because there is some
well, like
folk-
fantasy, because like werewolves are definitely like sort of linked to fairy tales and all of that, but like as the protector kind of figure, like I guess.
I mean, it's a very like one. I had like well, there's like Jack and the Beanstalk,
Yeah.
and he's like one with the Beanstalk or whatever. So it's just like for me, the mythology just kind of flew over my head because I'm
Yeah.
just like Jack and the Beanstalk. That's
Maybe
all I know.
Maybe he's kind of like a beast, so like Beauty and the Beast, because there's like the flower thing.
There's also the flower thing actually. True.
Could
Anyway,
be
it
that.
was interesting.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so Candor has that adorable talk with Marinette's mom, and it's so nice. Ah,
He's
that's-
getting some good parenting love.
it's so nice, man. Anyway, so then he goes up the beanstalk and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, so this is the part that I didn't maybe pay enough attention to the
Okay.
words. And that's it. So once you look at what they're trying to say, so right now they're reinforcing hard the idea of like, oh yeah, a Prince Charming is gonna come up and save her.
Yeah.
And so then the whole thing with the story is that, oh no, it wasn't a Prince Charming, she saved herself.
Yes.
Which is a very terrible design flaw if your own captor can. It's like saying, oh, nobody can get this key, but then like the captive can just take it and
yeah.
free themselves. So it's like, well.
True. I had not thought about that.
I think that's like there's the idea, but I just
Mhm.
think it kind of falls apart because it's like, well, that means
Yeah.
that you were a dummy for not planning your thing accordingly. You should have strapped her down or something.
True. True.
Well, I guess he doesn't want to strap down his own daughter.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of mean. Anyway, but
But I feel like there should still be some sort of way of stopping her from getting out.
there should, because all there was like an obstacle course with like
Yeah.
swinging vines. So there was that, and then so they're just fighting. It's like, oh, I might not be a prince, but I'm charming. And anyway, so he's just like, oh, I'm gonna save her and whatnot, and then it just kind of ends, and
True.
Ladybug appears, and oh, I already fixed. So it's like, oh yeah, I've already taken her. I've secured security.
Marinette.
So
But I find that so weird, though, that he doesn't question that Ladybug is just suddenly there and everything is suddenly fixed.
look, okay. They are not smart. Or anyway, I mean, in that case, in that scenario, I might do the exact same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
So let's. So they make a boat
'Cause,
glider thing.
Like,
oh yeah.
the fact that he doesn't question her presence there, it's okay. Like, she's Ladybug, she's gonna come save people. But she comes from nowhere.
She comes
Like,
from the
she's
sky.
Suddenly Marinette is gone and safe. And Ladybug is just falling from the sky, and you don't even question how she got up there. And
Like, I wouldn't maybe question how she got up there, because maybe she was, like, secretly up there. But then
Okay.
it's like, how did you get Marinette down so fast?
yeah,
And then you go all the way back. Unless he just didn't know how he never saw the rose.
true.
So maybe he didn't know how the whole thing was structured. Anyway, okay, just we ignore those plot holes, okay? And it's just like, but I think it kind of makes sense-ish. But
yeah.
Anyway, so they make it back down onto the ground,
Yes.
and everybody flips out. We're gonna go see Marinette.
yes.
And so then they have their final, like, oh, it's okay, my daughter can have her own lovers and figure out how to, like, deal with her crushes and stuff. And yeah, am I missing anything? There's that part where, like, Adrian is like, oh, I didn't think Cat Noir was her type. And he's, like, talking about Cat Noir in, like, the third person, but he's like, yeah, I didn't think he was her type.
Because he's talking with Adrian, right? So Cat
He's-
Noir. So.
Cat Noir is just a separate entity.
Yes.
It's like him and Plague combined. But, okay, yeah, so that's it. So the entire episode, it is, like, it makes sense. I just
Yeah.
don't think it does at the same time.
Like, the ending, I get what you're saying with the plot holes and everything. I like the idea of the ending. That's what I really
The
like.
idea is like, okay, yeah, but then, like,
Mhm.
maybe it's the fact that Marinette didn't have to do anything to save herself.
True.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no, like, emotional whatever. It was just finish this obstacle course, bye.
Yeah, that's it. I think maybe that's what really, like,
Okay.
it doesn't feel like she accomplished anything. It just kind of feels like, oh, she just pushed a button.
There was like no proper closure. It was just kind of like.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's what this episode lacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like the design of Papa Gerou?
Don't remember it much, but I guess it was.
You know the picture?
Please, because I can't.
Oh yeah, can we
Picture
talk
it
about the
very
fact
much.
that the character's name is Tom and he kind of looks like Thomas S. Quick in his like picture?
What?
No. Okay. Wait. Anyway.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Okay, so Papa Gerou. But I mean, like I've been watching the episode and it's
Yeah.
a cute design. Papa Gerou. No, what is this? Oh, okay. Well, there's one version.
Yeah.
You see the Thomas S. Quick resemblance?
Okay. Sure.
No. Okay.
I'm like, sure.
Sure-ish. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway.
So, anything. I mean, that's just what. Okay, so what do you think about the whole Marichat aspect?
Well, there was like nothing really, because she was like, "Oh, I'm in love with you," but she was just saying it to like
Yeah, it was lying,
to distract him. He never really liked her, so they're really and like it's not even like at the end. They're both fonder of the other, right? It's not like, oh, I like him as a friend even more now, and they're like, oh, like they don't even appreciate each other any more than they did in the beginning. So there's like really no progress there. It's just we're friends.
There was the fact, like, okay, so now we're talking like in terms of character progression. Did they really not improve in any way?
Well, I haven't rewatched it, so
Right.
I'm not sure. But like it feels like like maybe they are slightly closer, you know, because now they're friends officially, sort of.
Okay, yeah, now they know each other out of
Yeah.
her out of costume, him in costume.
Exactly. Like they're like yeah, but there's still kind of that I don't know, I didn't feel like there was really much that changed.
Right.
Because
Is
she
there anything?
admits quotation marks.
Just
She
go
sort
from there.
of admits that she likes him when she doesn't.
And she never did she ever clear that up with him?
No,
At the
she's
end?
just like, we can be friends. She never says that she never liked
Oh,
him.
okay, so now he has a misconception that she does like him, but that she's okay with it.
Most likely, yeah.
Oh, come on. Do you think that's gonna come up again? Or
I hope not.
one thing though that like maybe it's not character progression, more like is it exposition? It'd be like because when he was talking to when they were fighting on top of like the beanstalk thing,
Yes.
it was like, oh, do you want your daughter to finish
Oh.
alone? And then Adrian's like, I know what it's like to be alone. Well, Kat Nora is. I know what it's like to be alone. So that's not character progression. That's more like
No.
not exposition. No,
It's not really. Because we know he's always alone. He's neglected.
but it's like, you know,
It's more like in depth to look at his character, right? Like he's, I don't know, like you can see how hurt he is by the fact that he's always alone and kind of
so that's the
he
other.
feels locked away in his house or whatever.
That's the other thing that the episode reinforces is that he's lonely with his dad. Doesn't come have supper with him.
Baby.
And well then, and I guess Natalie's just not peacocking.
Nope.
No Mayura.
Nope.
No Mayura.
No more comatose women.
Well, I guess he's just gonna keep going after Emily. So yeah, I think final review rating.
Oof. I don't know.
So okay, so it's still a fun episode.
It's really
breaks up the formula a little bit,
Yes.
like
and it was good to see one of the parents, in my opinion, be
Like,
acclimatized.
maybe like parent development a little bit.
Yeah.
Like get to
We
see
get
them more.
more sides of them, and also kind of people that you never thought would be acclimatized, right? Because they're very positive, very happy, very generally.
You never thought. Well, I mean, anybody can be akumatized.
Well,
you just get
I mean,
mad.
True, but it was just kind of unlikely. It's something that I never really thought about.
Her dad.
Yeah, that any of her parents really would be akumatized. So I was like,
Let's go for the mom.
let's go.
Do you think Bakerix is the mom?
Ooh, I don't know.
Maybe she gets mad at Tom for baking too much. So she becomes a baking villain.
I don't know. But yeah, I really liked, I don't know, seeing someone that I at least didn't really expect to be akumatized. Because
Right.
maybe Marinette will be akumatized.
Hey,
soon.
let's go!
They've been hinting at it too much. They gotta give it to us.
So, I would say, okay, so it was a fun episode.
Yes.
Weird ending.
Yes.
And overdone dad.
Oh, yeah.
Dad. So maybe
A little too extra.
like too extra, but like I mean it did change up the formula and everything, so
Yeah.
6.5, 7?
Yeah, I was gonna say 7, maybe 7.5.
Like the episode is fun, but it's so it falls flat at the end and it's just
Yeah.
it's weird.
Because
But
it starts up and it's very hype. It's very like, look at all these things that are happening and it's so dramatic
and then it just like you just like so like okay, so you're like drama, ultimate drama, like hype, like oh what's gonna happen? And then
Yeah.
you like fall down, you're like, oh cringe, and then you fall down, you're just like, oh, it's finished.
yeah,
Okay.
they're friends, I guess.
So 6.5?
I would say 7 for me.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so alright, so put a 7 on 10.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. I did it again.
Ooh. it's you're back from the break. You're
Ah,
getting used to it.
2019 break, you know, 2018 you like scribble in. So we'll see you guys in our next episode review. Bye. We're not gonna see you guys.
Goodbye. You're gonna hear us,
And I'll.
and we're gonna read your comments
Do you read the comments?
sometimes.
Oh, you do.
When I
Aw.
remember, yeah.
All right. Bye.